Many times people ask me for my opinion as to how to chart their career path, how to build their skill set to get to their ultimate goal. And very frequently I give sort of mentorship workshops or various different luncheons with students and also people within my law firm and other law firms that I work with. And I say to them, basically, you can't decide from day one what you want to be on day 500. It's a growing process. You need to find out what your internal clock tells you, what your abilities are, your innate abilities, as well as your desires. Everybody wants to be a trial lawyer that bangs on the rule book and yells at the judge, and that's very, very few and far between, but it takes a lot of work to get there, and if that's your goal, work for it. I personally am a transactional and corporate lawyer, and some people think that that's not dynamic, but there's drama in every area of law. As long as we remember that our ultimate goal is not only our personal success, but serving our clients and the community that have hired us. I think now the market is so changed for legal students and graduating lawyers after they pass the bar. I think that in order to be practice ready, it is very, very important to be conscious of what is going on around you, to get out of the mindset of getting ready for the bar and passing, which is the ultimate goal of the end of law school. However, passing the bar doesn't necessarily make you ready to practice law. There's many articles, there's constant online blogs and books that are highly recommended to help with the change of mindset. Law school, and particularly FIU Law, based upon my experience, created the environment to learn how to think like a lawyer, to how to think out, identify a problem, solve it, and move forward. When I came to FIU Law, I did not know anyone, and I recognized immediately through the help of the faculty and the staff at FIU Law that creating a network and a kindred spirit with the other students in the school at the same time was going to be actually my future network. And at the time, it sounded like words, but it's actually truth. There's many days that I will call one or two of my colleagues, whether for a question, an answer, a support, a smile, to invite them to an opportunity. I've been fortunate to be able to refer work to other FIU graduates. They've called me to refer work. And that all begins on day one of your experience at FIU. Never let a moment pass. There's no need to be over anxious and over excited about everything, but remember that each opportunity is a stepping stone towards your future. And the people around you sitting next to you could be your adversary in the courtroom tomorrow, the judge rendering a decision, the partner interviewing you, or the colleague sitting next to you up the hall that you need to work with as a cohort, as an addition, and building on each other's skill set. Not everybody will create deep tying relationships, yet you will always have the constant tie of being at FIU Law, and it is something that, from my experience, I can call anyone and know that if I announce myself as an FIU graduate, my doors are open in a different way. My name is Denise Penn-David, and I am proud to be an FIU College of Law graduate.
From as long as I can remember, I've always wanted to go to law school. I told my mom and dad that I was going to be an attorney when I grew up, and so it was never a question of what else I could do. It was when I was going to go to law school. I went into law school thinking I was going to be a trial attorney, specifically a state attorney at the Miami-Dade State Attorney's Office. I interned there, and that was what I was going to do. I was going to be a trial attorney, and it kind of just took a turn from there to where I'm going into contracts now. I came across a posting on FIU's Simplicity page, and I saw a post for an opportunity in the Middle East. I've always wanted to travel, and I decided that maybe I should apply. I think everything I did in law school and before played a major role in getting this job. Whether it was my experience working in non-legal work, it had to do a lot with my internships at the State Attorney's Office, at the Florida Office of Financial Regulation, all of which I got through the offices at school. and my in-house clinic programs like the community development clinic, that played a major role, especially in the contracts aspect of my new position. And just working with the professor doing research, I was able to sell myself on aspects that I thought were my weak points, but my potential employer, now my boss, saw as a valid asset. I also think that, deciding early, I know we don't pick, exactly what we're gonna do now, in law school, because things change. Mine definitely did. I went from, litigation to contracts, a very big jump. And, but I think, see what you want to do. Take the time to do the clinics, take the time to, do externships. Whether it's something you don't think you'd like, whether it's something you think you may love, in the end you may not. Or, just find a firm maybe that you think you want to work for and be a summer intern there. Because I think especially now with how the market is, that's how you're going to find your job. It's not only being a resume later after graduation and taking the bar, but letting them see who you are, your work ethic, just get to know the firm and let them see who you are as an individual, not so much a resume. And I think that plays a major part in finding employment after graduation. I think using the career office, not only going in there, getting your resume reviewed, or just asking simple questions about, how to interview, what to look for in a firm, or just, stopping by and checking Simplicity. Because after graduating, I felt like jobs were there, but I also could have used it for clerkship positions when I was looking to make the move from non-legal employment to, legal internships or law clerk positions. My name is Tracy Wong, and I'm proud to be a FIU College of Law graduate.
My law school plan certainly wasn't intentional. I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do when I started. I knew what I didn't want to do. I knew I didn't want to do criminal law. I was interested in it, but I knew it wasn't going to be for me as a day-to-day career. I had a natural interest in the sports and entertainment fields, the agent realm, and that sort of thing. That all seemed very interesting to me. I had an interest in real estate law, property, wills and trust and whatnot. And that is what I thought I was going to be doing when I started law school. Interestingly enough, my path took me in a different direction. I had the fortunate experience of serving on the law review while I was in law school, and that guided me along with some of my other experiences into an appellate clerkship after graduation, right next door at the Florida 3rd DCA. And I just sort of fell in love with appellate practice while I was there. And from there, I became an appellate practitioner. So that's what I'm doing now in private practice, I'm an appellate lawyer. Networking is something I think that most people are either unfamiliar with, uncomfortable with, or just flat out don't like. And frankly, I fell into that category in many ways. The important thing to realize is that networking can happen organically. It's not just going out to these mixers, to these cocktail parties and sitting there and waiting to meet people and handing out business cards. It's important to develop and cultivate and nurture relationships while you're in law school. And it starts with a relationship as simple as with your professor. A professor that you may have, you did well in his or her class. That's how my path got started. I did very well in torts, for instance. That was one of my favorite classes in law school. And I ended up being a research assistant to my torts professor. And that relationship really grew into a mentor-mentee relationship, and that was sort of the first seed in my network. And through that professor-mentor, I was able to meet new people, meet other professors, meet people in the profession, in the industry. And that relationship also helped serve as a fantastic recommendation when it came time for me to seek my postgraduate work, my postgraduate employment. So you will have resources even beginning when you're in law school. And it's important to be aware that you have those resources available to you. Your potential mentors as professors, your career services department. There are a lot of great deans, a lot of great administrators and faculty members and staff members in this law school that frankly can serve as your springboards to develop your networks. Law school is demanding. Frankly, I enjoyed law school more than I enjoyed my undergraduate years or my high school years for that matter. It's an incredibly rewarding journey. It's You will learn more about yourself in those 3 years of law school than you probably learned in all your prior years in many cases. You can go beyond appellate law if you're not interested in that, whatever your interest may be. If you have an interest in intellectual property law, for instance, look into the Intellectual Property Law Society. If the Intellectual Property Law Society doesn't exist, maybe take that initiative and be the creator of it. So you are the one getting out and meeting all these people. One of the great things about FIU Law is there are opportunities for anyone who wants to make use of them, even if they're not there yet. You can really be a trailblazer here and really create your own path. My path to Greenberg was in large part due to the resources and the relationships that I had developed in law school. My name is Chris Carbeau, and I am very proud to be a class of 2009 FIU College of Law graduate.
I knew that I wanted to be in an area of law that helped underprivileged people or people who had been victimized. I wasn't sure exactly which route I was going to take and what I was going to do with that. So my ideas of becoming a prosecutor solidified during my time at FIU Law. I had several internships, and just my relationships with some of the professors and some of the classes that I took kind of directed me along the path of being a prosecutor. But I would say ultimately all of the experience that I had at FIU really came together and made me decide that I wanted to be a prosecutor. I was a part of the Black Students Law Association. I also was with the Women's Law group for a while, and seeing the issues that kept coming up, seeing the things that we were interested in as extracurricular activities, they always pointed towards the underprivileged and the victimization of people. So a career in prosecution was something that kind of flowed from that. During my career at FIU, I was able to do an internship at the Robert F. Kennedy Center and Memorial for Human Rights. And I was able to be a fellow there after my first year of law school, because unlike most of the schools in the nation, FIU requires that you have international law as your first year coursework. And that meant I got the opportunity that only 2Ls and 3Ls from other law schools can get. It was an amazing experience. I got to do really good work and have that exposure at such an early stage in my career. So I definitely benefited from that internship. And I also had an internship my 2L summer with a local solo practitioner. He was in the Keys, and he took me on as his first intern, and we've maintained our relationship ever since. He did work in everything. He was a general practitioner, so he did civil work, he did criminal work, he did everything, and that helped solidify what I was going to do later on, but still exposed me to the other areas of law, so I really, really enjoyed that. I think with the mentorship role that I had with my boss at the time was a willingness to learn. If you have that willingness to learn from somebody who you can respect has more time in this field than you do, they're more than willing to assist you, to teach you what they know, to always be there for you. And even in areas that they may not be experts in, they will recommend you based on that willingness to learn. I think that just being able to be flexible as well and knowing when to stand back and just having that spirit about you is going to be key in finding good mentors who those relationships will last. My name is Annabelle Emanuel, and I am proud to be an FIU College of Law graduate.
I think I came to law school with a mission. I had a foundation in the entertainment industry, and I really wanted to take my entrepreneurial skills and my understanding of the industry and apply it from a legal perspective. So when I came to FIU Law, it provided me an opportunity to round out my skills in specific areas. I focused my curriculum not on the litigation side, but on business courses, on entertainment law courses, and on intellectual property courses. I tried to focus on the industry. I got heavily involved with the Recording Academy, the National Academy of Recording Arts and Sciences, which are the organization that votes on the Grammys. I got very involved with the Motion Picture Association of America. Every type of networking opportunity or area that I could get involved in, I got involved in. I also began to form my own networking groups. I remember forming one of the first Miami entertainment and media networking events. The type of extracurricular activities would be to become involved with, for instance, the Florida Bar has the Entertainment, Arts, and Sports Law section, which is a section that really focuses on Florida attorneys that are involved in the industry. You can become a student member of that organization. I'm actually the chair-elect currently and will become the chair of the organization next summer. This offers an excellent opportunity not only to interact with other entertainment attorneys within the state in the Florida Bar, but also great learning experiences as far as CLE courses and different types of seminars and symposiums that you could really learn what is happening in the industry. I worked at Universal in-house for a number of years, and then I saw the changes happening in the industry, and I decided to launch my own firm. I've always been an entrepreneur at heart, and the skills that I learned at FIU permitted me to apply them in a business context and allowed me to open my own firm. I initially opened a small firm out of my home and have eventually grown into a larger office in downtown Miami, New York, and Washington, D.C.
My name is Ivan Perrone, and I'm proud to be an FIU College of Law graduate.